Hi yogis, my name is Becca and welcome to the yoga clinic. Today I have a good morning flow for you. You won't need any props and we will get started in a Supta Baddha Konasana on our backs. So we will bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide. Lie down and then feel for scooping the shoulder blades underneath you. You can rock the head back and forth a few times and just feel that everything is centered. Feels comfortable for you, you can take one hand to the heart and one to the belly with the elbows wide. And for a moment, surrender yourself over to the force of gravity. Feeling this sinking of the body down into the earth. And then notice also the feeling of the air on the skin. Maybe the sunlight on the skin, warm. Feeling ourselves emerging into daylight, gently back into the world. And we'll begin to invite deeper inhales. Noticing that the inhale naturally invigorates and wakes. It is stimulating. And on the exhale, we allow ourselves to settle and relax. And then on your next inhale, we'll begin to slide the heels forward and wide and reach the arms overhead, waking up again, filling the body with air. And then as you exhale, we'll draw the right knee into the chest. Squeezing all the air out to pull the right knee in tight. And then breathing into this constriction, feeling the ribs pressing against thigh. Good, and then we'll begin to lift the head, look forward. Feel for grounding down both sides of your pelvis, like the back of the pelvis, and then lift up the left heel and point the toe. And point the toe on your right foot. Pull the low belly down and feel for the pelvis really pressing down into the mat behind you. Good, and you can stay here. You might release the hands forward, really pulling the right knee into the right armpit. Belly button towards spine. A little space between the chin and chest. And then maybe you can lift more of the upper back off of the mat. Good, and then we'll set the left heel down. Inhale, reach the arms high, stretch the right leg long. And exhale, other side. Exhale, fully pulling the left thigh up along the left rib cage. And then keep this pressure with the biceps, but breathing the ribs into the thigh. Let both sides of the neck be long. Lifting the head, lift the right heel, and then point both toes, both sets of toes. Extend the arms forward, or you can keep them around the left knee. We'll pull the belly button down, low belly down, so that the low back stays grounded, and then lifting the shoulder blades off the mat, driving the left knee into the left armpit, and then back down into the floor behind you. Good. Holding here, whole right leg is engaged, the thigh, the calf, the foot. Trying not to hold your breath. Then inhale, we'll reach the arms long, left leg long. And exhale, gather the knees into the chest, rocking from side to side. Take the soles of the feet down about hip width distance, and maybe you can graze the heels with your fingertips. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you, and then press down into the whole foot to lift the hips off the mat. So your knees are going to move forward. They might pass the ankles for some of you, and if that's uncomfortable, you can walk the feet out farther away from you. Drive down into the foot to lift the hips. Think about lifting the hips towards your head rather than up towards the sky. So there's almost the action of sliding your toes underneath a carpet in front of you. Driving the hips up. Keeping the breath light in the chest. And slowly lowering the hips back down. And we'll just rock up and down the length of the spine a few times. So think it's like cat-cow, except we're on our backs. Syncing breath and movement. And finding stillness. Right arm moves overhead. We'll roll onto the right side and pause here. And slowly rising up, allowing the head to be the last thing to rise. We'll meet in a seated position. Let's take the hands to heart center. We'll bow the chin slightly and find a moment here to set an intention for the day. It might be a word, it might be a phrase. And you can let a little half smile play on the lips. Thich Nhat Hanh says that practicing a smile is a yoga practice in itself. Even when we're not feeling joyful, if we smile, the world smiles back. We'll blink the eyes open. Hello. Coming into a downward facing dog when you're ready. And we'll spend a few moments here finding movement in down dog. Adho Mukha, Svanasana. So you can pedal out the heels. You might nod and shake the head. You might swivel the hips from side to side, forward and back. This is our moment of checking in with what we are waking up with today. And we'll step the toes together, reaching the right leg high, flexing the heel, and imagine extending the energy out through the heel. And then out through the fingertips as well, in opposite directions. Good, we'll bring the right hip on top of the left to stack. Keep extending through the right heel, and then bend the knee. And bring the right heel towards your butt cheeks, lifting the right knee high to the sky. Slowly square the hips, kick out through the right heel, and then drive the right knee in between the arms. Press into the hands to make space to step the right foot through. Drop the left knee down. You can keep the toes tucked if you like. We'll inhale for Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, low lunge. And then hands come down and we'll extend the front leg towards a Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. And we'll just move here at your own pace. You can add any modifications. You can take it as slow or as fast as you like. And you might even close the eyes. Good, we'll take one more round. And then we will meet in our low lunge at the top of the mat. Let's step the left foot up to meet the right, and we'll halfway lift through the spine. The hands can come to the shins, to the thighs. Think about straight spine more than straight legs here. So wherever the hands need to go. And then bend the knees if you like, hands come down, folding into our fold. Look forward, peeling the chest through, and then stepping the right leg back to drop the back knee. Inhale for Anjaneyasana. And then exhale for Ardha Hanumanasana. And any modifications of these two poses. And I invite you here as a challenge to become mindful of the transitions just as much as the poses themselves. In our days, we are often so caught up with the destination that we dissociate through the journey. And so little of our life is actually made up of getting there. Some might argue that getting there is actually always elusive. That this is all just a journey. And our work is to appreciate the little things along the way. Good. Hands come to the top of the mat after your next round. We'll step the right leg up to meet the left. Again, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. So maybe the legs stay straight, maybe they bend. Shoulders towards the hips, long through the back of the neck. Belly in and then fold. Strong through the feet. Think about two tree trunks for your legs, with the roots, the toes of the feet, roots down into the ground. And then we'll inhale and sweep the arms up like they were branches, reaching up towards the sky. So feeling rooted and grounded as we lift and energize and reach. Good. Keep pressing down through the whole foot, reaching up through all 10 fingers, through your nose, through your heart. And then exhale, Samastitihi. Hands in Anjali Mudra. Okay, so we'll begin with some Surya Namaskar A, sun salutations. Wouldn't be a morning class without sun salutations. Feel free to modify here. We'll inhale for Urdhva Hastasana, and then exhale into our fold. Again, you can bend knees here. We'll inhale, halfway lift, sending the tailbone back, and then exhale, stepping the feet to the back of the mat. Plank pose. Inhale at the top of the push-up. And then exhale, you can drop the knees here. We're moving into Chaturanga. Elbows hug the ribs as we lower. Inhale your back bend, maybe Bhujangasana, cobra with the thighs down, or maybe with the thighs lifted, we find up dog. And then exhale, drawing the low belly in, lift the hips. See if you can lift up and back through the hips. Flip over the toes, down dog, 5 breaths. Hugging the upper arm bones in. Spinning the inner thighs to the back of your space. Curling the chin under to create maximum length along the whole spine. And then look forward. And we'll step one foot to the top of the mat, followed by the other. Halfway lift. That's one. Inhale there. And then exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Again, thinking about our strong tree. And exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale again, Surya Namaskar A. Fewer cues on my end this time. Moving at the pace of your inhales and exhales. And paying attention to those transitions between the poses. And we'll take 5 breaths in down dog. If you need rest, you can take child's pose. And when you're done with your 5 breaths, we'll look forward and step one foot and then the other to the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, long spine, strong legs. Inhale, we'll rise. And exhale, Samastitihi. Last one, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. And then exhale, step, or you can jump the feet to the back of the mat into Chaturanga. Firm up your core in your Chaturanga, and then inhale, reverse that. Open the ribs, stretch through your core, up dog. And then down dog will move from the hips, from the low core. Inhale to look forward and make your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rise up. Fingers reach up, gaze up. Exhale, Samastiti. Tadasana, hands by your sides. Close your eyes, feeling the steadiness here. Good, we'll blink the eyes open. And then inhale, arms reach up again, Urdhva Hastasana. Think about length through the side bodies. And then exhale, we'll dive forward. Look forward halfway. And then step the left foot to the back of the mat. We'll plant the left hand inside of the right foot, about 6 inches between the right foot and the left thumb. Sweep the right arm high for an open arm twist. And then if you like, you can drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And you can even curl the right arm around the low back, reaching for the left hip point. Look down at the ground. Take the right hand outside of the right foot, squaring off the hips if they've slipped out of place. And then we'll prepare for our revolved half moon. So sliding the right heel back slightly on the mat, keeping the left hand forward. And then again, about 6 inches between left hand and right inner foot. Lift up off the left leg, flex the left foot, turn on the left thigh. And the right hand can stay down, or you might take it to the low back, feeling for even hips, feeling for glute engagement. Or you can begin to take it high over the right shoulder. Gaze down, right hand down, left foot beside the right. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale, right foot steps back. We'll keep the right knee lifted. Right hand inside the left foot, and sweeping the left arm high for your twist. Option again to drop the right ear. Maybe curl left arm around low back. Look down, left hand outside of left foot, squaring the hips. We'll walk the right hand forward slightly, left heel back slightly, just for space. And then launch off of the right leg, get firm into the left standing leg. And then flex right foot, turn on right quad. Get long through the spine first. Pressing down into right hand, maybe left hand too. And then around a long spine, you can begin to rotate towards the left. And then maybe you lift the left arm, maybe not. You can also take it to the left hip crease and just work the hip back, back, back. If the right leg became limp, go ahead, firm it back up, activate, engage, and then release. Left hand down, right foot beside the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and vinyasa. From down dog, we will transition onto our backs when you're ready. Take a moment with the feet wider than the mat and the knees knocking in towards midline. Letting the heart rate begin to slow, but retaining this sense of energizing, opening, awakening. And when you're ready, we'll extend the right arm overhead, making our way onto the right side. Making your way up to a seat, letting the head lag behind. Backs of the hands rest on the knees, forefinger and thumb touch. Lifting the crown up out of the seat. Letting the eyelids be closed or softened. And before you jump into what you have to do today, what comes next, what time is it, just appreciating for a few more seconds this gap in the busyness. And know that as hard as it seems, You can always take a pause like this, even in the middle of the day. A pause for presence and self-care. Thank you, yogis, for sharing your morning with me today. I hope that this class was helpful to you. I do have other good morning yoga classes on my channel, so feel free to check those out. Thanks. See you next time.